All right, thank you all for coming to this year's Inner Beauty production, sponsored by the Office of Health Education and Promotion out of Health Services. Tonight's production is a compilation of monologues written by UNH students for UNH students. It's all about how people struggle within one's own body and how this struggle affects students. In the US, 10 million women and 10 million men suffer from a clinically significant eating disorder at some point in their lives. Anorexia nervosa has the highest mortality rate of any psychiatric disorder. So that being said, the national statistics, how does UNH stack up? Well, 46% of women are dieting to lose weight on campus. This was a survey taken on this campus last spring. 65% are exercising to lose weight. It's over half of the women on this campus. Over 2% of UNH students surveyed have been diagnosed or treated for bulimia or anorexia. So why do you guys think so many students are unhappy with their appearance? Let me ask you guys out there in the audience, how many of you know someone right now who is struggling with body image, eating concerns, or an eating disorder? Please raise your hand. Keep it up and look around. That's a huge number of people who are affected by this issue. So at your tables, I want you to make note of a couple things. First, there's on the purple sheet, there's a program for tonight's events. So you can kind of follow along with everything that's happening. Second, be sure to look at the purple cards with this, there's purple and blue cards, I believe, with statistics printed on them. There's all different kinds of statistics on these cards, and if you want to take a moment and walk around the tables after we're done here tonight, there's really interesting facts on how this issue is affecting all of us. Men, women, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, it doesn't matter. It affects us all. So I really want you guys to think about this. What has changed now that was different in the past? And how do these issues affect you? Obviously, by the statistics I read earlier today, this is affecting you on this campus. So you'll notice there's some blank cards and some white sheets there on your tables as well. At the end of the performance or during, whenever you feel inspired, we're gonna give you some time at the end though to write on the card, how has this issue affected you or someone you know personally? Or you could write a positive statement or phrase that really helped you deal with any sort of negative body image issues that you've had in the past. Or you can write about something that inspired you by tonight, by some of the monologues that we read. And then at the end, we're gonna ask for some audience participation and have you guys stand up and share some of what you've written. Or you can just choose to keep them or hand them in to us because we'd like to make a mural of all the cards when we're done here tonight. So just a final statement. The truth is brought to life within the monologues here tonight. You may relate to some, you may not. The point is, you are not alone. There is a way to get help and improve the thoughts in your mind from negative to positive. And most importantly, we hope that we really can help you start loving the body you were born with. So thank you and enjoy. Tell me your name and how old you are. How do you feel about your body?
I like my body. I love my belly. I like to pat it like a drum, like this. My body makes me feel happy because when I jump like this, and my mommy says that I am special and my body is special, so I am special. My body lets me pretend to fly. And I like my eyes because they see. And when I get bigger, my body will get bigger and I will grow. Sometimes I pretend I'm a flower so I can pretend like I'm growing, like a daisy. My mommy likes daisies too.
Tell me your name and how old you are.
My name is Kara and I'm 8.
How do you feel about your body?
I don't know.
Do you like your body?
Well, yes, but sometimes I think that my thighs are too big. Well, like the other girls in my grade are smaller than I am, and so sometimes I try to sit like this so that they don't look so big. I don't like it when they do that.
How do you feel about growing up?
Oh, I can't wait to be a teenager. My mom says that my body will change and I'll get boobs and stuff, and I think that will be good because then I can be pretty. One time, when we were doing Peter Pan for our class play, I was Tinkerbell, and Tommy Peterson told me that I can't be Tinkerbell anymore because Tinkerbell isn't supposed to be fat. So, I don't want to do drama club anymore. It made me feel bad. Anyway, all of my friends, they want to wear lip gloss now, and I don't like it because it tastes bad. But they made fun of me because I don't wear it. So now I do, but I don't like it.
Tell me your name and how old you are.
Kara, 14.
How do you feel about your body?
Hate it.
Can you tell me why?
Because it's so fat. I can't fit into a size 5 anymore. I mean, I used to be a size 5, you know, and all the other girls in my grade are a size 5 because we talk about it in gym, and, you know, who has the smallest jeans and stuff, and I mean, who cares about jeans? But, you know, everyone's looking at you and trying to figure out what size you are and stuff, and I know it's not important, but everyone seems to think that it is.
What do you think is important?
I mean, I don't know, but how you look is important because how else would people know what kind of person that you are?
Body image is described as how you see yourself when you look in the mirror, or when you picture yourself in your mind. It's how you feel about your body, including your height, shape, and weight. It's also how you feel in your body, not just how you feel about it. The media has been filled with social ideals of femininity and masculinity ever since advertising began. Research shows that continued exposure to thin, airbrushed female bodies is linked to unhealthy eating habits in women and girls, and that is the nice way of putting it. There are millions of people worldwide who will never appreciate their bodies. They will always tell themselves they could be thinner, have bigger boobs, straighter hair, smoother skin, smaller nose, or improve in some way. Most fashion models are thinner than 98% of American women. And models in advertising are photoshopped thousands of times. The constant force of these images in our day-to-day lives make us believe that they should be the standard. And people have a hard time reminding themselves and others that these images are fake. If you feel you have a negative body image, there are a lot of things you can do to help develop a better relationship with your body. You can Start by appreciating your body and all that it does. Take care of it. Respect yourself and listen to your body. Try keeping a list of things you like about yourself unrelated to your appearance. And try to think of yourself as a whole person. Surround yourself with people who are body positive and make you feel good about yourself when you're around them. So, whether you have thunder thighs, a badonkadonk, or love handles, try to appreciate your body and all that it does for you. I would like to end with one of my favorite quotes. First, like who you are. Second, like where you are. Third, find a place in this world that lets you stay that way. So, let your hair down, choose the colors, paint the walls.
What did I want to be when I was little? Do you really want to know? This is going to sound crazy, but when I was little, like 6 or 7, I wanted to be a stripper. See, I told you it sounds crazy. I remember getting all excited and telling my mom that when I grew up, I was going to be a stripper. But, I mean, I didn't really know what a stripper was. I just seen them on TV. Maybe they weren't even strippers, more like exotic dancers or something. I remember being in awe of them. And it wasn't sexual or anything. All I remember seeing were these women with long hair and sparkly outfits. And they were dancing. And I wanted to be a dancer too. I didn't know that they were objectified sexual objects. In my 6-year-old mind, they were beautiful. And really just there in their bodies. I remember around that time I had also heard the term goddess for the first time. My mother was really into that whole goddess, divine, feminine, woman power thing. And I remember thinking, I wonder if that's what a goddess is. It's kind of funny now, thinking a stripper is a goddess. But I don't know. Looking back, that's pretty profound for a 6-year-old. I didn't see objectification or something perverted. I really saw a goddess. I saw a woman enveloped in her femininity, connected with her body, alive. And I wanted to be that. During my recovery from bulimia, I remember thinking about all this. And it was actually really helpful, you know? And again, it wasn't sexual. I wasn't going to run to the nearest pole and do a lap dance or a Vegas show or anything. It was on a whole other level. For me, it was about totally and completely embracing my body. About reconnecting with that 6-year-old again that was so in awe of being a woman and of having a body, a female body. It wasn't about size. I had no concept of that. And it wasn't about being skinny. These women, they seemed so alive. And they were dancing. And they weren't hiding. There was something that amazed me back then about a woman that wasn't afraid to be seen, afraid to let her femininity just ooze out. You know, this is a pretty idealized view of a pretty degrading thing, huh? I know it is, but I don't know. Through the eyes of a 6-year-old, it was about something deeper. Thank you.
This is called Wasted Time, and I wanted to dedicate this monologue to my niece, Layla. It's her first birthday today, and I really hope that she can grow up in a society where she can really love herself, be confident in the body that she was born with. 39,420,000 seconds, 657,000 minutes, 10,950 hours, 456 days. Each of these numbers totals about 1 year and a little over 3 months. That's how much time that I've spent so far thinking about my body. Gosh, I've had all of these thoughts like, ugh, my nose, it's so big. How long would it take to save for a nose job if I put away like $25 a paycheck? Ugh, my thighs, I hate them. They're so fat. Ugh, they could only be skinnier. If I could only lose about 5 more pounds. Yeah, 5 pounds, that would be good. Wait. Here I go again. Another 30 seconds of my life completely wasted thinking about my body. I do this about 60 times a day, give or take. I really have to think, what else could I be doing with this time? What else could I be doing with that 1 year and 3 months of my life? I could have done stuff like read that book that's been sitting by my bedside just collecting dust that I picked up from the airport and just had to have because it was on the bestsellers list. That's not going to happen. Could have played with my dogs a little bit more. The big one, he's nudging me right now. Oh, dogs, you never have to think about anything like this, especially your bodies. Wait, that's pretty crazy. I don't know what dogs think about. Could have called my mom back. She's always calling me, asking me, how are you? Did you eat today? When are you moving back to Ohio? 1 year and 3 months. Man, I could have trained to climb Mount Everest in that amount of time. I think of it as a work in progress. Every time I get these negative body image thoughts, I tell myself from now on, why am I wasting time on this? What could I be doing right now instead of thinking about this? Take all the people in the world, take you, take me, your brother, your cousin, your partner. Think of all the years, days, hours, minutes, not only by yourself, but combined as a society that we spend over our lifetimes thinking about how we can improve, change our bodies. Seconds, minutes, hours, years spent thinking, all wasted. Now think if we took all these seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, year, and we replaced them with positive actions. How would that change our society? How amazing, how different would our world be? How different would my life be?
All right, I wrote this for my mom. I don't know if I'll ever actually share it with her, but for tonight, I want to dedicate it to my best friend, Caroline. This is called My Maker's Shape. I can't give a damn about that extra slice of pizza you ate last night, Mom. Not every meal needs to end in a confessional. If you could survive that family of monsters, crawl out of that hellhole of abuse, live off of ramen in someone's closet for your teenage years, create 2 children who love you, and still wake up every morning a slave to some number on your bathroom scale, should I even hope to one day love myself? I would give anything to go back and relive those hours spent perched on your chunky, powerful hips. Rely on those thick legs of yours to tow my pumpkin-laden radio flyer to the top of the driveway. Watch that golden straw you call your hair flash in the sun as you scale a tree in pursuit of a loose chicken. See that sun-kissed flab on your arms go to work on the siding of our broken old stables. Watch your deep, chocolate, pinhole eyes dart back and forth as you scrutinize your grandmother's recipe. Catch a glimpse of that pearly buck-tooth grin when you're scheming. Watch the water ripple out from your cankles as you scold me at the pond. Hear the hanging pots hum from your wild, rich cackle when the dogs drop some terrible gift at your feet. And feel that rough, weathered hand press into mine as we weave in and out of the crowd at the state fair. I guess we disagree about your body because you're preoccupied with what it does for the eyes of others. And I'm possessed by everything that it's done for my soul.
Ever been to the grocery store and feel like everyone is watching to see what you put in your carriage? As they walk by you in the bread aisle, sneaking a glance to see what you're buying? Judging you by the contents in your shopping cart. As if you can look at me and the 12 items I put in the express lane and be able to judge me. Yes, these are cookies. And yes, I do like pasta. I see you looking at the food, looking at me. At the food, at me. Food, me. I see you little blonde Jim Biddies with your $3 bottled water and your copy of Fitness magazine, in your basket of only apples and power bars, staring at me, but you don't know me. You don't know I have a degree in pharmacy, that I'm a mother of 2 children, that I have a passion for painting, and I love to sing and dance. You don't know what this body has done. These hands have held a dying friend. These feet have climbed Mount Washington. These eyes have seen more beauty, more pain, more life than yours might ever see. I know what people think when they look at me. Sure, some might call me fat, but that's not who I am. This body bore children. For goodness sakes, there's nothing you can say, no condescending look you can give me. Your judgmental eyes try to size me up over a few grocery items. There's nothing you can do to make me feel bad for this body. I know who I am. I'm a mother, a daughter, a pharmacist, a friend, a woman. Who are you?
I'm going to be reading an excerpt from this wonderful book called Real Boys' Voices, written a few years ago. The excerpt is on Dylan. He's 17, and he's from a suburb in Chicago, near Chicago. The title is, I Had to Be Skinnier. If I get in shape, if I develop a more attractive body, I'd be more popular. It's like the way life is around here, what society shows you. It's a problem to be naturally skinny like me. You're not as athletic or muscular or attractive. You're not as good as the other kids are. Every time in movies, TV, and especially the girl magazines tell you what your body should be like. Magazines like YM and stuff are biased and unrealistic. And they make girls expect guys to be a certain way. Girls definitely influence the way guys try to look. And they want us to be buff, wear certain clothes, have a certain haircut. It's the girl magazines that make them want us to be a certain way. We're supposed to work out, get a good job, get a certain car, have that right look. A lot of guys worry about their bodies and working out. I think I did the opposite of what everybody else does. Instead of working out, I tried to get smaller. Because there's so much pressure on guys to be muscular and strong, I tended to go exactly the other way to avoid that competition. Last summer, I decided I had to be skinnier in order to be attractive. I worked out like crazy and didn't eat. I did some weights and a lot of running and push-ups. I ate only one small meal each day. I could not eat breakfast, and there was no snacking after dinner. I would look at the music scene and celebrities and friends, and I didn't want to get pudgy. I wanted to be attractive. Eventually, I got down to about 112 pounds. I still skip breakfast and lunch every day, and I go through phases where I won't eat at all for a day or so. I don't talk to anybody about it, not even my parents. I'm fine. I don't need help with this kind of thing. It's just a thing, and I've dealt with it. I'm pretty much over it, I think. I've conquered that beast, so to speak, or at least chained it up.
I don't know when the monster started to live inside me. How do you identify something that isn't real? I mean, there's not a pathogenic cause for this disease. The monster lives off of fear and sadness. It sits within you, growing from small, ignorable issues into this horrific beast that just breaks down every feeling of security and happiness within you. I was going into high school. I was supposed to be this perfect looking teenage girl, but how could I? I had the body of an 8-year-old. I had this big round face, no boobs whatsoever, a pudgy belly, and thighs the size of tree trunks. All I wanted to do was a little bit of diet and exercise just to get myself to feel good. It started out okay, perfectly normal. Then I started to cut out fats. Then it was only things that were 100 calories or less, and I would only eat the serving size. The workouts went from 30 minutes to 3 hours every day. On my 14th birthday, I was taken to the hospital. I weighed 85 pounds and had a heart rate of 36 beats per minute with nearly undetectable blood pressure. I was lucky I didn't die from a heart attack. How does that feel to be a 14-year-old girl on your birthday being told that you are lucky, that you are not dead? I never, ever want to see the look in my parents' faces when they said that. The beast that was inside me, that horrible monster, had destroyed everything that I held dear. It controlled me and it made me a ghost of my former self. At that low point, I was done. I was not going to be a victim anymore, and I would fight back. After a week of physical treatment, the emotional healing began. A year of therapy later, the monster went from this all-consuming beast to just this little shadow in the back of my mind. Time has healed me even more so that now I can share my story and talk about it like I am right now.
My advice for anyone dealing with an eating disorder of any kind is that you can beat it. Don't ever think that you are too weak to get over it. You are strong, you are fabulous, and you can beat it. And also, don't ever be afraid to ask for help, because you are surrounded by people that love you and would love to help you get better. The monster is now just a memory, something that I will not ever forget, but also won't ever let take hold of me again.
My name is Shanti, and I wrote a poem. It's called Simultaneously Colored and Blinded by Beauty. I look around every day. I see, I feel, I find the inherent value in the world around me. People, ideas, nature, art, random acts of kindness. The reds and oranges and yellows of the foliage contrasted against the gray sky on this perfect gray fall day. The wonder you feel when you stand on top of a mountain, looking out at the sublime, this infinite, extraordinary magnitude of space that we can't quite yet grasp or even begin to understand. But it colors us, gives us hope and passion and drive, and something to strive for. I'm taking a philosophy course, so bear with me. And we're studying Immanuel Kant's critique of aesthetic judgment. In his perspective, the definition of taste is based on the ability to judge the beautiful. To tease out the feeling of pleasure, our subjective response to viewing an object as agreeable. What the senses like in sensation. Well, when you like something, it gratifies you. I like dogs. I have a Newfoundland. He's huge and fluffy and cuddly, and we wrestle, and he licks my face, and he leaves hair and drool all over my clothes. But he makes me happy. Okay, agreeable. Check, got it. Now, there's also a liking for the good. Something is useful, good for this or that. It has a purpose. I have a Subaru Outback, and you know how much stuff I can fit in the back of that? Almost everything I own. Almost. It's light blue, four-wheel drive, and does relatively well on gas. It gets me from here to there, and she's a beaut. And then there's the beautiful. This concept that something in and of itself, for the sake of its pure existence, is simply beautiful. Purposive without a purpose. A universalist would say it transcends time and space. The pieces created in the 1700s and 1800s are worshipped to this day. Leonardo da Vinci's The Mona Lisa, Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night, Michelangelo's David, and Mozart's Don Giovanni. Universally appreciated and respected by all walks of life. Or are they? Did my rural homestay in South Africa really care about white European artists? I don't know, I never asked them. We can conceptualize the ideals and perceptions of beauty. We can formulate arguments on whether form or content matters most. But is there such a thing as universal beauty? And if there is, does it matter? Does it have anything to do with me or you or anyone sitting in this room? I guess we can't go around saying that everyone and everything is beautiful. But we certainly don't have to think that that's all that matters. External stimulus penetrates our consciousness. Television, movies, commercials, advertisements, magazines. The media industry makes $7 billion a year, making all of us feel like we're not of worth, we're not good enough. These subliminal messages scream at us. You need to be X. Look like Y. Buy Z. Or else you won't be happy. You won't have friends, you won't find a partner, or be successful. This stimulus helps us to form our ideals and perceptions of what is simply beautiful. And we're blinded. When we wake up in the morning and wish we were skinnier, when we walk across campus comparing ourselves to the people around us, when we go on Facebook and look at everyone else's pictures. We're blinded by this perception of beauty, this American ideal that is unattainable. But we don't have to be. We don't have to hate ourselves or wish we were different. Personal growth, and striving to do and be the best person you can is important. But where do you draw the line? When do you accept yourself exactly the way you are? Unconditionally love yourself. Serious question. Do you love yourself? Don't let anyone or anything tell you that you're not enough. You can't let that Mucinex guy, you can't. In your mind, you gotta get him out, you gotta tease it out, you gotta figure out what is yours and what's not. You need to see, realize, and understand that a lot of things are relative, societal, cultural, subjective, and contextual. I mentioned the debate of form or content. Are you going to let the formal properties, size, shape, definition, length, matter more than what is on the inside? Life's too short. Nothing is worth the scrutiny, hate, and negative energy we send at ourselves. Tap into your strength, your talent, your passion, and commit to loving yourself. Loving your inner beauty, and not taking it all too seriously. Hello again. So now I'm going to sing a song for you guys. It's by the Indigo Girls, and it's called Closer to Fine. I'm trying to tell you something about my life. Maybe give me insight between black and white. And the best thing you've ever done for me was to help me take my life less seriously. It's only life after all. And the darkness has a hunger that's insatiable. And the lightness has a call that's hard to hear. And I wrap my feet around you like a blanket. And I sailed my ship of safety till I sank it. I'm crawling on your shore. And I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains, I looked to the children, I drank from the fountain. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointed me in a crooked line. The less I seek my source for some definitive, closer I am to find, yeah, yeah. Closer I am to find, yeah, yeah. And I went to see the doctor of philosophy with a poster of Rasputin and a beard down to his knee. He never did marry or see a B-grade movie. He graded my performance. He said he could see through me. I spent 4 years prostrate to a higher mind. Got my paper, I was free. And I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains. I looked to the children, I drank from the fountains. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing us in a crooked line. The less I seek my source for some definitive, closer I am to find, yeah, yeah. Closer I am to find, yeah, yeah. I stopped by the bar at 3 a.m. to seek solace in a bottle and oh, possibly a friend. And I woke up with a headache like my head against the board, twice as cloudy as I'd been the night before. And I went seeking clarity. And I went to the doctor, I went to the mountains, I looked to the children, I drank from the fountain. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing us in a crooked line. And we go to the doctor, we go to the mountains, we look to the children, we drink from the fountains, we go to the Bible, we go through the workout, we read up on revival, we stand up for the lookout. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing us in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source for some definitive, closer I am to find. Yeah.
Hey, thank you all to the performers tonight for helping to share their stories and the stories of others in the UNH community. And to those who continue to struggle with this issue. Please know you can get help. I do want to point out the table out in the hall. The table is a peer education group through the Office of Health Education and Promotion called the Eating Concerns Mentors, or ECM, you may have heard them called on campus. And they're there to mentor students with eating concerns or eating disorders who may need help. So they're a good listening ear or peer support. They also do a lot of outreach. One of their outreach programs is Fat Talk Free Week that's coming up next week. And the calendar for that I put on all your seats. So please attend. We have a lot of great events going on next week. Also, on Thursday, October 24th, you may have seen at the table, there's custom-made Post-it notes. We're doing a project, and it's actually a national campaign called Operation Beautiful. And it stems from, you guys know, like the messages people write in bathroom stalls. Well, a woman was inspired by the positive messages she saw written in bathroom stalls, so she decided to start leaving Post-it notes around to inspire others who saw them. So now it's a national campaign, and it's coming to UNH on October 24th. So if you'd like to participate, it's all day. Grab your own Post-its, or again, we have Post-its available for you at the table. And write positive messages and stick them up on mirrors in your dorm, above water fountains, or just for yourself in your room. You know, if you need motivation, it's a great way to do that. In ending, I would also like to remind you, if you'd like, to write on your cards about how the issue of body image has affected you, or if you have a positive comment you would like to share. I'm going to give you a few minutes right now to fill that out, and then we'll pass around the mic and have people participate. But I'd really now like to invite all of the performers that were here tonight up on stage for a final thank you and round of applause for opening up. Sorry. God, you could just keep the lights on. You know when you have your husband work the lights, you're really reaching for help. So thank you all.
One more round of applause.
Yeah, I think all of y'all are very brave, and I thank y'all for doing this. I also am very grateful that I by chance heard that there were caramel apples in Union Court, and then found Shanti, who told me this was happening, and I'm really happy I found it.
I haven't written anything down because this is a yellow marker on a pink post-it. So I'm winging this. But I was really inspired by everyone's stories, and I cried a little bit. Kelsey, it's your fault. Blame you. And I just wanted to say that when I grew up, my body issues started when my mom would, she saw me become a woman, and she saw me grow hips, as that happens, you all know. And she would say, "Oh, Kyla, you're getting so old. You have my body. I'm so sorry." What? I've been doing fine until then, really? But as I got older and I joined this amazing group, I started to realize, like, look at all that your body can do for you. Like, I walk, and we all do, walk 5 miles on campus every single day. And it's because of your body. You should not be ashamed of it at all. If anyone says, "You have my body, I'm sorry," no, you just throw that right back at them and be like, bam, all right? This gets me from point A to point B. I love it.
Kyla is a eating concerns mentor, so she's new this year to the group. So if you ever want to be inspired like Kyla is, join ECM. We're accepting people next fall.
I'm also at ECM, and I just think everyone was just so wonderful. Particularly, one of my favorites had to have been Laura's. I just thought yours was just so like relatable, and even though I don't have like my own children, and I don't know why, I just felt like I could relate so much to like when you talked about like being at the grocery store and like worrying about what people have in their carts, and like comparing to like, you know, younger girls who just fill their carts with apples and like things like that. I just thought it was so moving, and everyone was just so inspiring, and like I'm just so happy with the attendance tonight, and it's just so wonderful.
So I was diagnosed with anorexia at the age of 8, and I actually had growth problems because of it. I was supposed to be 5'6", I'm 5 feet tall, so that didn't happen. But it takes me a lot to even say that, so I think it's incredibly brave of you guys to get up there and be able to really share like what you went through and inspire other people.
When I read the statistics about UNH and the obvious exercising to lose weight, 65% of women, and the dieting to lose weight, 46% of women on campus. How do you all feel about that? How is it to be a student here? Is it different, do you think, than other schools that your friends go to?
I'm Crystal, I'm another eating concerns mentor. But I think a major thing, and probably at a lot of schools, but especially at UNH, I think a lot of people think they're doing it and they don't realize that it's not healthy behavior. I think they think that they're being healthy, and it's hard to tell when you're concerned about a friend or you see someone who's maybe restricting what they're eating and exercising a little bit more than they should, to talk to them, because to them, like, some people are very defensive about it, and they say like, well, I'm exercising and eating right, like I'm being healthy, there's no problem. So I think especially here, that is a big issue. So that's one thing I noticed. I don't know if anyone else.
Thank you so much. If you do have anything that you would rather write and have the UNH community read, remember your words do inspire other students who may be struggling and don't have the strength to even write what they're feeling. And this will be displayed through programming at Health Services. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate you all making the time to hear all the hard work they all put into the performances tonight. So thank you very much and have a really good night.